Okay, I chose this song for a couple of reasons for today's lesson. You don't have to be a particularly big Lynyrd Skynyrd fan to get a lot out of this. One reason was it builds on a lot of those movable chord shapes that we talked about in earlier lessons, and it also builds on the idea that I've mentioned about there being essentially two different methods of soloing. One that I described in the Constructing a Blues solo lesson is to be playing the scale in the key of the song. The other method is to be playing over the chord changes. You're playing a D chord, you're playing riffs out of the D scale. When you're playing an A chord, you're playing riffs out of the A scale. That's the method used in Gimme Three Steps that I'm going to show you today. And so I guess the other reason to show you this song is there's a lot of really classic, simple rock and roll riffing that you can utilize in your own playing. Again, I don't want to just promote a style of learning guitar where you're just mastering famous solos. That doesn't do you any good. You want to be able to have some tools, some vocabulary that you can then use in other songs. So that's what we're going to hopefully look at today. It starts out on a D chord. So you're going to take that movable A shape from the open first position, slide it up here to the 7th fret, right? It's that chord. But we're just going to be playing the abbreviated version. You're mainly hitting the 3rd and 4th strings. Okay? You don't want to be letting it really ring out. You're going to be kind of muting it in between, whether with your palm or just by lifting this finger up a little bit in between. Okay? So all we're doing is playing that D chord and riffing against it with the 5th string, 9th fret, and then going 7 to 9 on that 5th fret, 5th string. Okay, couldn't be simpler. And then the chord progression switches to the A, so you do the exact same thing down at the 2nd fret with your A chord. Back to the D chord. And then again, A. Okay, so that's the intro. It goes into sort of the intro solo. This is a very cool lick. That D chord barred at the 7th fret, the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings, and then you're coming over here, you're putting your ring finger on the 9th fret, 3rd string, your pinky anchoring that on the 10th fret, 2nd string, okay? Okay, what you're bending is the ring finger, the 3rd fret, or the 3rd string. Your pinky is staying anchored. And I want to also explain why that's good, why that works. Again, we're over a D chord. Well, if you come up to the 10th position there, a D major chord, okay, you see that note that we were anchoring with the pinky is the 5, okay, the A note in the D major scale. It's a 5, okay, and what you're bending, you're coming up to the major 3rd. So what you've got is the major 3rd and the 5th and a D major chord, and you're playing it over a D major chord. That's why it works. And the bending of that creates that classic rock and roll tension of going from the minor 3rd, right, a D minor chord, to a D major, the major 3rd. So that's why that works. That's why it's a great riff, and you'll hear it a million different times on rock and blues records. And then it goes to the A chord. He does the same thing over the A. The first time in the intro solo, he just does it briefly. And he kind of pulls off with that. Comes back up to that 7th fret, the D. He actually leads into it with a Again, all out of that D major pentatonic. So that time it's a little different, just kind of like bend and release, like I said, from the major third through the minor third and down. That more riffing over the D comes down back to first position and does this really cool chunky riff. Okay, that's just a chunky monkey there. Real simple. Open E string, fret fourth, second fourth on the D, second on the D. I think I might have just misspoke, but you got it. And again, this is not only cool for learning this song, but you should know this riff just for chunking around over an E chord. Okay, since it resolves on an A, what does he do? He comes all the way up to the 14th fret, an octave above your movable A chord there, and just nails it, slides off. And then we're back to the D. Okay, that third, I think it's the third time around by that point, he adds something. He's not only anchoring the pinky on the 10th fret second string, but also the 10th fret first string, the root note, the D. So again, what you're ending up with there is the full D major triad. Because your pinky's anchoring the 5 and the 1, and your ring finger's bending up to that major third. It's kind of a little hiccup. They do have sort of a little turnaround where we're walking down. Okay, from the G, F sharp, F, E, and it's played something like that. I've seen people play it single notes, some people play it with a little double stop there, which again would be the root and the third of the major chords, G down to E. And then he jumps right back into the same ending as the first part of the intro. Okay, so that's the whole intro. Again, not note for note, but showing you some of the tools. The intro, first solo, second solo I'm going to call it, goes the full chord progression like the intro. And there's one little different lick in there that I wanted to show you because it's a Chuck Berry-ish thing that you can do. Again, add to your kit bag, add to your vocabulary. Over the D, it goes... Again, he introduces it just like the earlier riff by walking up to it. But instead of going, he goes. Okay, that's just a beautiful Chuck Berry double stop thing. We're just playing the third and fourth strings, barring them, walking down 10, 9, 7. Instead of going all the way down, he goes something like that over like an A major, the A major pentatonic, and then he ends it with doing the same Chuck Berry double stop riff over the A twice. Second solo end. Okay, so a couple of cool licks there. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.